So let's go ahead and have a seat on our mat. And since I'm kind of new at this, any suggestions, any feedback on your practice this morning is very much appreciated. I can only learn and grow from any of those things that you have to say about your experience this morning. But as usual, I always start my classes with a little bit of centering. So what that means is just transitioning from whatever was going on in your morning or in your week into your yoga practice. So we'll take some time in a seated position, whatever's comfortable for you. This is traditionally called Sukhasana, which just means easy seat. But you can accommodate that easy seat to whatever honors your body. So if you want to lay down, that's fine. We'll just be a few moments here. Also, if you want to play some music in the background, feel free to do so. I'm going to go ahead and let nature play music here on my end. But you go ahead and feel free to play anything you'd like on your end, okay? Anything that brings you to a place of peace of mind. So if you want to close your eyes, go ahead and do so, and then just start to take conscious breaths. So really focusing on the inhale and the exhale, and not really just puffing out that exhale, just being mindful of how you release the out breath, okay? So deep breaths in, slow, purposeful breaths out. Allowing the shoulders to relax with the exhales and allowing the spine to lengthen on the inhale. Going within a little further and perhaps grounding through the sits bones on that exhale. And continuing to lift the chest, open the chest and upper back with the inhale. Just taking 3 more breath cycles here. An inhale and an exhale is 1 breath cycle. And then gently, slowly, if you're sitting up with me, we'll go ahead and start with some neck stretching. So just bringing your chin to your right shoulder. And then bringing your chin over to the left shoulder. Bringing your gaze back to center and then gently bringing your chin to your chest or letting your head hang forward slightly. You can just hold here, or you can take your hands behind your head and add a little extra pressure. Releasing the hands from the back of your head if you had them there, and then just rotate right ear to right shoulder. Holding here for a breath or two. And then bringing your chin to your chest and rolling over to the other side. So left ear, left shoulder. Gently bringing your chin back to your chest. And bringing your gaze back to center. Let's go ahead and rotate wrists a couple of times in one direction. And a couple of times in the opposite direction. Go ahead and lay your hands, palms up on your lap. Curl your fingers in towards your palms and make a gentle fist that scrolls into your forearm. And then open that out again. Now let's do that a couple of times, just really being mindful of those little joints that we don't often think about. And then just releasing that. Let's take right hand to left knee, left hand behind you for a nice seated twist. 3 breath cycles here. And then coming back to center, let's take that over to the other side. So left hand, right knee, right hand behind you. Try to twist from the waist. So from the belly button up, you want to twist. Maintaining the sits bones grounded. And then coming back to center. We're going to go ahead and step our hands in front of us and fold over our bent legs. If this doesn't honor your hips or knees, you can always put your feet on the floor with knees up and apart and fold between your legs this way. Same benefits that way. They're just a little safer on the knees and hips. So just folding forward as much as you like, taking some deep breaths in and out, and just starting to open up muscles in the lower back and in the hips. Beautiful. We'll look up, walk back in, and we'll flip the crisscross. If you're with me in the crisscross position, you're going to flip it because we always sit the same way every time. If you're in the other variation, you just get to do it again. So we'll go ahead and fold forward. And then you'll look up nice and easy and walk back in. We're going to go ahead and take our hands down by our sides, big breath in, keeping the same crisscross to the legs. So coming back to a comfortable seated position. Stretch the spine up, hook your hands together, turn the palms up, lengthen the arms up. Big breath in and out. One more big breath in and out. And on your exhale, go ahead and release all the way back down. We'll go ahead and lay down on our backs, okay? So going ahead and rolling lengthwise on your mat, coming down nice and easy. Making sure you're nice and lengthened. So from the hips to the shoulders, a lot of length, okay? Let's go ahead and kick our legs up towards the ceiling and 2 legs up the wall. Make sure your shoulders aren't rounding upwards. You want to press them down. We're going to flex and point our feet here. Just starting to open up the hamstrings, open up the quads, front and back of the legs. Relaxing your feet for a moment. And on your next exhale, we'll bend the knees, place the feet down on the floor, and prepare for bridge. You'll inhale, lift the hips up. You'll exhale, release the hips down. We're going to flow through these 2 movements, okay? So then inhale, lengthen the legs up. Exhale, bend the knees, place the feet down, and inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lengthen the legs up. Exhale, bend the knees, place the feet down. Inhale, lift the hips up. One more time, just like that. I'm going to exhale, bring the hips down. Inhale, lengthen the legs up. And exhale, bend the knees. This time we're going to hold the bridge, okay? So you'll inhale, lift the hips, and it's not about height here. It's about length. So you want to make sure you're pressed down through your shoulder blades, lengthening the knees away from the hips, squeezing the glutes, breathing deep into the chest. If you wanted to hook your hands together under you, you can. And take 3 breath cycles with me. On your next exhale, go ahead and unhook the hands if you had them hooked and release the spine back down to the floor. Let's go ahead and take the right knee in, stretch the left leg out on the floor, rotate that right ankle a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the other direction. Let's switch sides. Rotating the left ankle a couple of times in one direction and a couple of times in the opposite direction. And then going ahead and bringing both knees in, rocking a little bit side to side on your lower back, releasing pressure there. And then going ahead and rolling around or coming into hands and knees any way you like. I always like to roll over to one side and then come to hands and knees. From here, we'll establish a solid tabletop, okay? So you want knees under hips, hands under shoulders, and then you'll go ahead and start with some cats and cows here. So you'll tuck the tailbone under, exhale, push the floor away from you, and then inhale, go ahead and kick the tailbone up, lengthen the front of the body on the cow. So flowing through this a couple of times at your own pace. But you really want to use the arms to help here. And let's do one more of each. And then we'll come into a neutral spine. So you want to lengthen the spine even through the back of the neck. We'll go ahead and lengthen right arm forward, left leg back. Try to maintain stability through the supporting arm, okay? So not sinking into it. And then we'll go ahead and place that down. Let's try the other side. And then we'll go ahead and place that down on an exhale. So from here, you can have two options going into child's pose, sitting back on your heels and lengthening the arms forward, or you can go into dog, okay? So down dogs. Tuck the toes under, lifting up. I like to add some movement to my dogs, okay? So I'm bending one knee and then the other. I'm also being very active in my upper body, so pushing into the floor, pressing away from my arms. Nice. Really give the body a chance to settle into the pose. Dog is really amazing. It's actually a decompressor to the lower back. So that's why you want to try to kick that tailbone upwards as if you were just going to pop into a handstand. From here, we'll look towards the front of the mat and come into forward fold. Putting a generous bend to your knees so that your spine has a chance to lengthen, okay? If you need a prop, use a prop to support the upper body, all right? Or you can actually hang on to your shins. Or if you're feeling pretty good, just go ahead and fold. Being mindful that the weight doesn't shift all to the front of your foot. You want to keep that weight evenly placed amongst the feet. On your next inhale, we'll come to halfway lift, so hands on shins. Lengthen the spine. This is tabletop. And exhale, release. And then we'll inhale, use the strength of our legs and bellies to help us all the way into an upright position. Arms come up. Palms together, down to heart center. We'll come to mountain, okay? So nice upright position. Take your arms up with a big breath in, palms together overhead, down to heart center. We'll stretch the arms forward, and then you'll open up to the towards the screen. So we'll take a twist, open the chest towards the screen, and then we'll exhale, bring it back to center, and now we'll turn away from the screen as we open up to the other side. And let's do it maybe one more time per side. Bring your hands to heart center, stepping back with your right foot. Place the heel down if you want for a variation of warrior one, okay? Or you can go into warrior lunge if you're feeling pretty active today, if you need that little extra power in your class. Make sure your knees are tracking towards the little toes. And lunge, you come up to the ball of your foot, step back a little bit and get low, sorry, and get low. So arms can rise up. If you're in the lunge position, we're going to transition to warrior one with our friends. So you'll just go ahead and place that heel down, that foot at a slight angle, and we'll all bend our elbows out to the sides, okay? Cactus arms, open chest. Keeping the cactus arms, we are going to twist towards the left, okay? So towards the leg that's facing the screen, actually, if you're with me. So I'm going to twist. So towards the bent knee, you're going to twist. And then we'll come back to center. Bring hands to heart center and step forward. Going ahead, let's do the same thing on the other side. So you'll step back. So if you were with me, that was my right leg that I stepped back with. Now I'm going to step back with my left. Making sure that your knee is tracking towards the little toes, okay? And this is warrior one, or you can warrior lunge, okay? So I'll pick that heel up. I'll step back a little bit, get a little lower, arms up. We'll go ahead and transition to warrior one with our friends if you're in lunge position, okay? So I'll go ahead and place that heel down, that foot at an angle, and bend the elbows. We'll all bend the elbows and open the chest and upper back. So you want to try to keep the upper back open, okay? You can see my head there. There we go. So try not to sacrifice an open chest or opening the back. By squeezing the shoulder blades together, you want to open both. And then we'll twist towards the bent knee. So you'll take a twist. Now go ahead and adjust that again. I apologize. There we go. Come back to center, bring hands to heart center, and step forward. So we're back to mountain. Let's take a big breath in, arms come up, and let's exhale, forward fold. Let's inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, release. Let's come into plank, okay? So you'll step back with both feet, coming into a nice plank-like position. Holding this plank, pressing away from the floor, keeping your tailbone tucked under slightly so that your abdominal wall is nice and active. And then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and place my knees down under my hips. I'm gonna come up into a kneeling position. Take a big breath in. Palms come down to heart center. I'm gonna step forward on my right foot, coming into low lunge here. With this low lunge, I'm gonna twist it. So I'm gonna hold here for a moment. I'm gonna start to open up that hip, like a hip crease. Tuck the tailbone under. And then go ahead and straddle your foot with your hands and open to the right side. And of course, if you'd like, you can tuck the back toe under and come into a knee lifted low lunge. And then we'll bring that down. I'm gonna go ahead and place that knee down because I had it lifted. I'm gonna slide my right foot next to my left. I'm gonna take a deep breath in, come to kneeling. Palms together down to heart center, and this time I'm gonna step forward with the left foot. Taking a moment to open up my right hip crease, okay? So if you notice, I've got this 90-degree angle. I'm tucking my tailbone under, and I'm lengthening away from that hip, okay? And then we can go ahead and twist it, okay, if you like. I'm gonna straddle my front foot, and then I'm gonna open up to the left. Now, of course, if you wanted a higher variation, I would tuck the toe under, lift the knee, and open up. And then we'll go ahead and bring that down. Place the knee down. If you had it lifted with me, I'm gonna slide that foot back. I'm gonna come up, big breath in. And this time I'm gonna use my abdominals and I'm gonna sit back and fold into child's pose. Taking some deep breaths in here, allowing the body to process the benefits of your yoga practice. And then we'll go ahead and come up, lay down on our backs. Bring your knees into body one more time, rock a little bit side to side. We'll go ahead and take a moment for a twist, so stretch your arms out, T position, and bring your knees off to one side. Bringing the knees in and over to the other side. Bringing the knees in again and preparing for Shavasana, your moment of stillness and reflection. Sometimes I like to practice in supported Shavasana or teepee legs. My knees are in, my feet are apart, my legs are supported by each other. Or you can sprawl out on your mat, lay your arms down by your sides, close your eyes, allow the mind to focus on the breath. Let the breath become natural, yet a little more than when you're sleeping, so that the mind can focus on those purposeful breaths, breath with purpose. Feel the body lengthen, relax. Every inhale lengthens the body, and every exhale releases any places of tightness. The mind focused on the breath, and the breath focused on the body. And then gently, slowly start to deepen your inhales and lengthen your exhales, bringing deeper, fuller breaths to the body. Wiggling fingers and toes, body parts here and there, bringing movement back to the body. Allowing any other form of stretching or movement in order to bring you out of your mind's eye and back to your mat. And eventually rolling over to one side or coming up into a seated position with me. And arms or not, we'll take one more breath together as friends. So big breath in and a slow breath out. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining my very first Zoom yoga class. Okay. Any